China, zero match for the Indian Army. That's our top focus on India first. Hello and welcome to an India Today special broadcast that comes to you from the high altitude Ladakh. I'm Gaurav Sawant. We are currently in Leh. Information that we are getting is that Indian and Chinese troops are in an eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation at multiple points along the line of actual control. But on a major departure from the past, the Indian Army is now on commanding heights overlooking some Chinese garrisons, and this has made China extremely uncomfortable, and that is why you see all these psychological warfare videos that come from China. Is there any truth in this? We will have Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh, former Chinar Corps commander and former officer of the Military Operations Directorate, who will join us on the broadcast on India Today. But before that, I also want to tell you that Prime Minister Narendra Modi today asked all members of parliament, cutting across party lines, all Indians, to come together and stand with our soldiers in these high altitude, extremely difficult peaks in eastern Ladakh. China and its mind games. Let's focus on that. China says India will not be able to sustain itself on these high altitude battlefields. Is that actually true, considering India has been deployed at the Siachen Glacier since the April of 1984. India Today's Shiv Arur busts the Chinese claims.
If Indian troops don't withdraw from the southern bank of Pangong Tso Lake, the PLA will confront them all winter long. Indian troops' logistics are poor. Many Indian soldiers will die of freezing temperature or COVID-19. With these drones, the PLA's frontline soldiers can enjoy hot meals once winter reaches the plateau. Some sympathize with the nearby Indian soldiers who can only eat cold canned food and have to endure the severe cold and potential spread of COVID-19. Two tweets that give you a flavor of Chinese propaganda, courtesy Xi Jinping's propaganda-in-chief and editor of the virulent state-owned media outlet Global Times. The mind games designed to taunt the Indian army and suggest that Indian soldiers aren't built for the long haul at high altitudes. Does India need to engage with such claims, or do the facts about Indian soldiers speak for themselves? Not that Indian citizens need reassurance about the Indian Army's capabilities, but we thought it's a good idea to show why the Chinese government's claims, through its attack dog of choice, Global Times, are laughably short of facts. China's taunts about how Indian soldiers wouldn't survive the harsh winters. This undated video cropped up on social media, showing Indian Army troops during an hour of rest and recreation playing kabaddi, a strenuous cardio-filled game at over 14,000 feet. The video has gone viral and shows how conditioned and acclimatized Indian troops are to high altitudes, not just to survive and stand guard, but even play sports that require a great deal of energy. And finally, right around the time the Chinese were fuming over the Indian Army's preemptive actions in South Pangong and formulating their virulent mind games on Indian soldiers, this is what was happening at the world's highest helipads on the Siachen Glacier. These exclusive images show India's new indigenous light utility helicopter completing super high altitude trials with army pilots at the Amar and Sonam posts, two of the most forbiddingly high altitude posts at over 21,000 feet. By now, India is well versed with Chinese propaganda, and since August 29th, when the Indian Army caught the Chinese off guard, the propaganda tap has been opened to full flow. But if there was any doubt about the Indian Army at high altitudes, pictures speak louder than tweets. Bureau Report, India Today.
It's 8 degrees currently in Leh where we are standing, and it's windy. With me is Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh. General Gurmeet Singh has been posted in high altitude areas for the better part of his military career. General, the Chinese claim that we cannot fight at these altitudes whether it's 19,000 feet at Pangong So or 18,000 feet at Depsang or at DBO at 17,000 feet?
In fact, what Chinese are saying, it is laughable. On the contrary, Indian Army has got huge experience in mountain warfare, winter warfare, high altitude warfare. And apart from that, there is a huge combat experience. You know, as we stand here in this location at around 11 o'clock, I can hear in the air the combat aircraft, their sound. That's what Indian Army, Indian Armed Forces is all about. And look at it, 1984, since then on the Siachen, 99 Kargil, our experience is too huge. And for them to say this is actually laughable because they got zero combat experience, zero experience in mountain warfare and high altitude warfare.
That's a very interesting point that you make. And for the benefit of our viewers, we have our air warriors protecting our skies 24/7. It may be 6 in the morning, it may be midnight, it may be 4 in the morning, but we are protected because our air warriors are protecting our borders. And this is one big difference in 2020 compared to 1962. And China realizes that. China is resorting to all this psychological warfare because many analysts now have come to the conclusion that China's Operation Ladakh has failed. How has it failed? Take, for example, the deployment of soldiers. The Chinese thought they'll come from finger 8 to finger 4 and India will roll over and play dead. That clearly did not happen. We are now on the south bank of Pangong So on some heights that overlook the Moldo garrison, and that's made China very uncomfortable. Take a look at this report as we tell you why else is China so unhappy.
Right before Corps Commander level talks, this latest piece of warmongering propaganda from China, designed to heighten temperature in typical Xi Jinping style. But hidden in this aggressive image, which explicitly claims to depict tank-destroying exercises in Tibet, is an admission of something else. A powerful indicator that the Chinese have been spooked by Indian tank movements in eastern Ladakh. Let's try and decode why the Chinese would fire such an obvious and specific propaganda bullet, illustrating the destruction of tanks. The immediate trigger for this propaganda assault appears to be the fact that Chinese tank units are fully in Indian sights following the Indian Army's preemptive actions on August 29. Chinese Type 88 tank units are now within line of sight from dominant heights now held by the Indian Army. That's not all. Chinese tanks, which had rumbled close to the heights held by the Indian Army, had to hold position for another reason.
Assume that this is the south bank of the Pangong So. Behind me, you can see the beautiful Pangong So Lake, and also behind me are the locations where the Indian forces have occupied some strategic heights. Now, as a result of this action by the Indian forces, tanks on both sides have come very close to each other. Now, the red line you see is the line of actual control. You can see Chinese tanks which have been stopped in their tracks by decisive Indian force action, but there are also Indian tanks that are already deployed in the plains of Chushul that have been lying in wait, as a result of which just 9.5 kilometers separates tank groups on both sides. And anyone will tell you that 9.5 kilometers is a mere nothing when it comes to tank warfare.
In northern Ladakh, Depsang Plains area, a big Chinese build-up in Aksai Chin has forced the Indian Army to deploy armoured vehicles in a big way in this area, including an entire T-90 tank regiment. This too appears to have caught China's attention and possibly foiled attempts to mount more hostile actions in this very sensitive sector. The tanks being wielded by the two Chinese in eastern Ladakh is now well known. But the Chinese are clearly looking to up the ante. While China deploys the Type 15 light tank and the older Type 88 main battle tank, India deploys the T-72 and the more capable T-90 Bhishma, its mainstay in the armoured corps. War isn't a video game and must never be treated as such. Having said that, all of these tanks are capable and warfare between them, while a remote possibility still sits on a razor's edge. As the two sides await the next talks engagement between military commanders. Tank commanders on the frontier will be exercising maximum caution in the face of non-stop provocation. With Shivarur, Bureau Report, India Today.
So China thought it's going to transgress Indian territory, and like in the past, India will turn a blind eye. Not happening. This time, India's resisting, not only resisting China at finger 4, but also countering China's deployment by deploying on the south bank of Pangong Tso and also elsewhere in some places that we still cannot make public. But has this made the Chinese plan completely infructuous, and has this put the Chinese President Xi Jinping under pressure? General, your appreciation. Is Xi Jinping under pressure, and will that make the PLA take some, perhaps a foolhardy misadventure in October, November like they did in 1962?
Gaurav, firstly, Chinese President Xi Jinping is under tremendous pressure. There is no doubt about it. Firstly, from the CCP itself. Secondly, Jiang Zemin faction within the CCP. Thirdly, even from PLA, because he has purged far too many senior officers of the PLA and has been very harsh and hard with them. And thirdly, from the very public in China, which has realized that it is the senior leadership which has failed the nation. And apart from that, even the veterans in the China are very angry on the aspect that the way we give respect to our warriors, their soldiers who died, they were absolutely ignored. And as far as China is concerned, I think there's a zero trust in China and PLA, so they can do any foolhardyship. But we need to be prepared and alert.
So remain alert. There could be a misadventure. That possibility is there in October and in November. But it's also a fact that China has never attacked a country when that country was prepared. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today asked all members of parliament, cutting across party lines, to stand together with our soldiers at those inhospitable heights in eastern Ladakh. Heights from 15,000 to 19,000 feet above mean sea level. And remember, unlike at the Siachen Glacier, here the supply chains are still coming up. And that is where the local people of Ladakh, whether it's the Tibetans, whether it's the Ladakhi Buddhists, whether whoever they may be, I spoke to several youngsters who are volunteering to assist the army. If they can join the army and fight as soldiers, they're very happy to do so. In case they cannot, young women told me that they'd be happy to work as nurses. They'd be happy to cook hot meals for our soldiers. Young men said they'd act as porters to ensure all supplies are available to our soldiers at those inhospitable peaks where they're building bunkers and tracks even as we speak at night.
As Indian and Chinese troops stand in virtual eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation in eastern Ladakh, the local communities, both Tibetan and Ladakhi, have volunteered to assist the army to combat the Chinese army. Local women are coming forward to join as nursing assistants.
As a female, I can't serve huge support to them, but we can do like first aid, Medicaid, or we can serve them drinks when they need it and food like that. Okay.
So as a medical assistance, you are willing to come forward and in nursing and help?
Yes, sir.
Women say they have volunteered to set up kitchens to provide hot food to soldiers on the battlefront.
अगर नौबत आया तो हम लोग भी रेडी है जहाँ पे जाने के लिए. फिर it's not just issue about India and China, it's also about Tibet also. So अगर टाइम चाहिए तो हम भी जाने को तैयार है फिर।
Young men want to join the army and fight the Chinese. But others say they are willing to work as porters to help carry food, ammunition and other essential supplies for soldiers at forward posts. Being locals, they have no problems with acclimatization.
वो तो हमारा ड्यूटी बनता है वॉलंटियर करना अगर टाइम नीड होगा तो ऑफ कोर्स वी विल बी देयर टू सपोर्ट द इंडियन आर्मी because of the Indian army there are lots of development are happening around here in Ladakh, so that's why we are always with the Indian army, and by chance if we get a chance we will also go at the border.
जितने भी पॉपुलेशन सिविल पॉपुलेशन है मदद करने के लिए बहुत उत्सुक है, जैसे कि जिस तरह से खाने के लिए मदद कर रहा है, जैसे पानी भी दूर दूर तक पानी बहुत कम आता है, पानी के लिए आ रहा है अपने तरफ से जो ड्राई चीज है.
The youth through the Tibetan and Buddhist associations are in touch with the administration to provide manpower to the army.
People of the nearby villages like Chushul, Manmerak and all, the residents of that area are volunteering to carry the essential items like food, rations to the post at the higher post by the villagers, which is voluntarily their duty.
In the 1999 Kargil war, the local volunteers had helped carry both food and ammunition to Kargil Dras and Batalik Heights, helping the army evicting the Pakistani intruders, a feat they are very proud of.
Breathing at 15,000 feet altitude and above at the line of actual control isn't easy. It's here that the army is making bunkers and tracks. This is where local Ladakhi youth and Tibetan youth are coming forward to help the army not just make bunkers, make tracks, but also act as porters to ensure whether it's ammunition, food, water or other essentials can reach the forces at the line of actual control. Some of these Tibetan youth say that the army is fighting a very important cause, not just protecting the line of actual control, but ensuring that the sanctity of the LAC is maintained. These Tibetan youth and the Ladakhi youth are volunteering to come forward to assist the army in whatever way possible. And all along the 850-kilometer long line of actual control, their help will be extremely critical in the days and weeks to come. With cameraman Kripal Singh in Ladakh, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. I quickly now want to cut across to the other side of the line of actual control from Ladakh. Let's take you to Arunachal Pradesh, where India Today's Manogya Loiwal joins us with the latest. Remember, 5 Indian youth who had accidentally strayed across, they were captured by the Chinese. The Chinese claimed they were Indian spies. But finally, better sense prevailed and those 5 have been repatriated. Their families spoke to Manogya Loiwal. This is an India Today special ground report.
38-year-old Thashum Diri is a much relieved man. His younger brother is among the 5 people from Arunachal Pradesh who were handed back to India by China's People's Liberation Army last week. For nearly a week, the family was living on tenterhooks, worried about his safety.
मुझे ये विश्वास ही नहीं हो रहा था कि इस टेंशन में, इस माहौल में अभी जैसे LAC पे टेंशन चल रहा है और कोविड-19 का वजह से गवर्नमेंट का हाल खराब है, तो उम्मीद नहीं था कि हमारा बच्चा वापस आ पाएगा कि नहीं पाएगा, गवर्नमेंट साथ देगा कि नहीं देगा.
Nacho area from where these men are is along the India-China border, home to the Tagan tribe in Arunachal Pradesh. After releasing the 5 Indians, the Chinese state mouthpiece Global Times had branded them as spies, a charge strongly denied by their families.
भाई जो है कि क्लास 9 पास किया है, पास करके लॉकडाउन समय हो गया तो कुछ काम करने के लिए नहीं है, वो जंगल में गया है ना, जंगल में जाके वहाँ में पता नहीं कुछ सामान ढूंढ रहा होगा, कुछ ये जिसे जंगल का एक तो क्या बोलता है, ये जारी गुटी कुछ लेके यहाँ में बिछने के लिए जंगल गया होगा, तो गया है तो चाइना ले गया.
चाइना वाला ने हमारा लड़का को जासूसी में गिनाया गया है, लेकिन उसी में कोई जासूसी नहीं है। ये हमारा लड़का जो अपना रोज रोटी के लिए मेहनती के लिए पहाड़ कतरों से गया था, तो शिकार के लिए आंतर के लिए गया था, तो वेकेशन के टाइम और लॉकडाउन के टाइम पर वो अपना मेहनती के लिए गया था, रोज रोटी के लिए गया था है। तो उसी में कोई हमारा बाउंड्री में कोई बाउंड्री ये वॉल नहीं है।
After the 5 were taken into custody by the Chinese army, there's anger against Beijing's claim on Arunachal Pradesh.
जो कि 1947 जब इंडिपेंडेंस डिक्लेयर हुआ था तभी से अरुणाचल प्रदेश इंडिया का ही है और इंडिया का ही रहेगा। तो इसमें ये बिल्कुल गलत बात है जो चाइना बोल रहा है कि वो साउथ तिब्बतन के पार्ट है, तो ये बिल्कुल गलत है।
Given the Chinese army's human rights record, the people in Nacho are happy that the 5 made it back.
This is not for the first time that China has resorted to such kind of allegations and blame game, from terming these innocent people who were abducted by PLA as spies sent from Indian intelligence agencies to even claiming that Arunachal Pradesh is South Tibet. For the locals, they're absolutely sure who they belong to and who they are with. However, it's for China to realize where it stands every day despite all the rhetorics that it comes up with. With camera person Tapas Berry, this is Manogya Loiwal in Upper Subansiri district, Arunachal Pradesh for India Today.
And there's breaking news coming in. Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is to make a statement on the situation along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh in Lok Sabha at 3 tomorrow afternoon. The situation where members of parliament of the opposition want the government to come clean. Are the Chinese on Indian territory? There are reports to indicate that Chinese are holding several kilometers of Indian territory. Is there any truth in Chinese claims that India has crossed the line of actual control and that Indian Army Special Forces are now occupying some very strategic heights across the line of actual control, especially in South Pangong So on the Chinese side overlooking the Moldo garrison? Of course, Government of India sources have so far told India Today there is no truth in the Chinese claims that India has transgressed or India has across the line of control. We are protecting unheld heights at the line of actual control, but we will get facts from the Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh at 3 tomorrow afternoon. That is all I have time for on this special broadcast of India First from Leh this evening. Many thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with all the latest developments at the line of actual control. Stay with India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.